The could it happen here question taking on new and troubling meaning tonight. Nuclear regulators naming Indian Point, the power plant up there in Westchester County, as the nation's riskiest for core damage in a possible earthquake. The plant's just 40 miles north of Manhattan, a distance that Mayor Bloomberg claims is far away from New York City. Just 40 miles. In the Westchester County community of Buchanan, Jeff Pegues is there for us tonight. Jeffrey?
And Bill, 8% of the U.S. population lives within 50 miles of Indian Point, and that's in part why this report is getting so much attention. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission concluded that should there be an earthquake in the region, Indian Point could be in danger. It is, according to the NRC, the nuclear power plant in the U.S. with the highest risk of core damage from an earthquake. The report is prompting the governor to order an examination of whether Indian Point can withstand a natural disaster.
This plant in this proximity to New York City was never a good risk, but this is new information that we're going to pursue.
As Attorney General, the governor called for the plant to be closed. And now, with the plant's license coming up for renewal, and in the wake of the devastation in Japan, there is likely to be renewed debate over the controversial nuclear power plant.
Indian Point 3 is among the older reactors. It was built before we had some modern knowledge. And so that makes it somewhat riskier than some of the current construction.
But a spokesman for Energy, the company that owns the power plant, counters that Indian Point can withstand a significant earthquake. According to Energy officials, the reactors at the site are designed to handle a 6.0 magnitude earthquake.
That being said, Indian Point and Entergy are going to be part of an industry initiative to look at catastrophic events and the response to those events at each site.
We don't know when it can happen, but it can happen.
In this Columbia University lab, seismologists monitor earthquakes around the globe. No major earthquakes here.
No major earthquakes are expected.
Scientist Won Young Kim says the plant is located near the Ramapo fault line. But because the fault line, he says, isn't active, he believes a major earthquake in this area is unlikely. So it's not big enough to disturb a facility like Indian Point?
Indian Point.
In your opinion?
Yeah.
And the last significant earthquake to hit New York City was back in 1884. It was a 5.3 magnitude quake. There were no fatalities. There was some damage to buildings, in part, we're told, because the earthquake was centered in the water off Brooklyn.